Tanny and Glenn here with another ghost story. So this one happened a couple months ago. Glenn works the late shift and he gets home around 11. I usually wait in the living room for him, but on this particular night I wasn't feeling very well, so I had gone to bed early around 9 and I couldn't sleep, so I was watching TV and I heard Glenn come through the front door at around 11. And you know how your voice is different when you're talking to your animals? Well, that's what I heard. He was greeting the dogs, but then his voice shifted and he sounded like he was talking to a person. And I was thinking, well, who's he talking to? Because no one's home but me and I'm in the bedroom. So I said, I'm in the bedroom. And a few moments later, he comes walking into the bedroom with this perplexed look on his face. And I said, what's the matter?
Well, when I pulled up, I saw a figure in the dining room and I assumed that it was Tanny. So, of course, when I came through the front door and I greeted the dogs and I started to address her, but I didn't get any response. And just a few minutes later, like Tanny said, she calls for me from the bedroom. And so I went in there and I was surprised to see her in the bedroom. But I thought, well, I didn't think much of it. And so after, talking with her for a minute, I went back out into the living room and got something to eat and spent some time with my dogs and watched some TV. And I started getting tired, so I went to bed. And I was just starting to doze off, and I heard some noises coming from our guest bedroom, which is right down the hall from our bedroom. So I got up and walked down there and opened up the door, turned on the light, and there was nobody in there. I thought maybe the dogs had gotten in there, but the door was still closed, and there was no one in there. So I just thought, oh well, and went back and got back in bed. And I was asleep. I was sound asleep, and I felt like somebody was watching me, and I woke up and opened up my eyes, and there was a figure standing over me and leaning out over the top of me, looking straight down at me. And I sprung out of bed, combative and swinging, because I thought somebody was in the house, but there was nothing there.
And that's when I woke up because I just felt the bed moving. I wear earplugs, so I didn't hear any of this happen. But I woke up to him swinging at the air, and I said, what is going on? And there was nothing there. So someone was milling around that night.
Yeah, it felt like that someone was really intently looking at me, and that really just was kind of unnerving.
Yeah, that's scary.
Yeah, that was scary.
I'm glad I missed that.
Yeah, I wish I had.
Okay, guys, that's our story for tonight. And like always, sleep well, and thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye.